This is T. Gardner here at Queen's Park in Toronto. And what's the name of the garden here again?
So this is the People's Peas Garden.
Oh, okay.
There's many names for the garden, actually.
Yeah.
People call it different things. People relate to the garden in different ways.
Of course. Yeah. And now you're Jacob.
Yeah.
And yeah. And how long have you guys been involved in this project?
So I've been involved with gardening for as long as I can remember, and since I was a child growing up. And but this project in particular, this garden was planted on May 1st. But we've been planning it as a collective of gardeners around the city for about 6 months before that. From the start of Occupy Toronto and of our conversations we had down at St. James Park.
Right, that's where the Occupy tent town was.
Yeah.
Why May 1st?
May 1st was symbolic as our major spring reemergence after a long cold winter.
Yeah.
And May 1st was also International Workers' Day.
Right.
And so there was a multitude of actions that occurred in cities all around the world to bring attention to labor rights and workers' struggles and land rights and human rights and indigenous rights and migrant rights, especially here in Toronto, where we have such a diversity of people from all around the world. And so we wanted to plant this garden here in Queen's Park, home of the provincial legislature, to bring attention to not just workers' issues, but human issues.
Yeah.
Like issues such as hunger and inequality and injustice as well.
Right.
And so we use this opportunity in this high-profile public space to plant this free food garden for the community.
Okay.
To basically create conversation.
So are there any obstacles to maintaining an open garden in a public space like this?
So this garden is unique.
In the city of Toronto, yeah.
In that the city of Toronto hasn't given us formal express permission to plant this garden here.
Okay, so you didn't go up to Rob Ford or anything?
No, we didn't call Rob Ford, although we probably could have, apparently. He answers all of his calls.
Apparently, yeah.
So maybe that should be on our to-do list, is give him a call and have him down here to check it out.
Don't you worry, you might put a parking lot here or something, though, if you do that?
Well, we'd like to talk to him and to our MPPs, who are just right next door and will soon be in session.
Can't quite see the building from here, but yeah.
It's there. They're meeting.
Behind the trees,
a couple hundred meters away.
Yeah, used to be an insane asylum. Used to be.
Used to be.
Used to be, yeah.
So we'd like to bring them down to talk about, imagine a garden in every school in the province. And imagine a collaborative relationship between local health units and community gardens.
Right.
And allocating other provincial space and resources towards supporting the development of urban agriculture and community gardening.
And so this is sort of how you're starting that conversation then, I guess.
One of them. The conversation has been going for decades now.
Yeah.
We're hoping just to get more people talking about it, and to put it in a high visible space so that people see it on a daily basis as they're walking to work,
right
as
here,
they're driving to work,
by university,
as they're meeting their friends and their family and their neighbors and friendly strangers that they've never met before.
And so it's sort of like shaping public discourse.
For sure.
So you guys want to show me some of the crops you got here? I'd be interested in checking it out. So the soil, anything about the soil?
Well, if you point down here on the ground, you'll notice a ring of mushrooms that are now drying.
Yeah.
But earlier in the week, the garden was almost surrounded with a ring of white and brown mushrooms.
Okay, why mushrooms? Yeah.
This used to be a big tree, and so this spring the city cut it down and uprooted it. And so the soil was loose and filled with wood chips.
Yeah.
But it was filled with organic material and decaying root matter from the tree, biomass, underneath the soil. And so the mycelium fill this and create this massive underground structure throughout the whole garden and then bring nutrients together and decompose. And so it's an incredible ecosystem that we've been able to tap into here.
So it's good soil here then, because it has the previously organic substance here.
And the city
organic,
And the city of Toronto is on some of the most prime agricultural lands in Ontario and in Canada.
Right.
And so I don't know the ultimate history of this space particularly, but I don't think there was heavy industrial.
No.
So not like big factories or pollution. So
right. And before that,
there is the road here.
Right. But before, it's been a park as long as there's been a European style city here. But there's some evidence that the indigenous people before had this as a huge growing area too, where they grew corn and everything, corn and other crops. So yeah, could you tell me is this squash right here? I think.
Yeah, that's a squash.
Yeah, and that's one plant, or is that multiple plants there?
You know what?
It's one plant,
Wow.
and it spreads quite extensively, so it's gone and crept all through the garden, and yeah, it's a creeper, so then you can harvest quite a bit from this one.
Okay, right.
So, do you want to tell us what you're harvesting?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. So I just found seeds. It's a lettuce seed, so we can collect them, but we can also just
Like
spread
dandelions,
them
yeah.
and ask elements to support our gardening. And next year we will have it everywhere,
Wow.
like self-seeded. If we don't collect the seeds,
Right,
and
right.
I harvested a bunch of beans.
Green beans.
Yes.
Yeah, those grow quite quickly.
Yeah, and then I harvested cherry tomatoes,
Very
and
nice.
this is a pear cherry tomato. Look at how
Oh,
beautiful it is.
Shape, yeah.
Like a little pepper, that's really hot. And the calendula is medicinal plant.
Oh, very
and
nice.
you can use that to make tinctures
Oh,
or oils.
painting, eh?
Yeah,
Multiple use,
or
eh?
cosmetics.
It's all natural,
It's an anti-cancer plant.
Really, yeah.
And I found a cucumber.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Very nice.
It's really nice
Looks good.
cucumber, and yeah, we'll just continue to harvest and allow new flowers to produce. There are many pollinators around us. Like,
Yeah.
you know, everywhere.
Excellent. Thank you. Thanks for sharing that. Yeah. And what's this plant? Is this tomatoes too, I
This
guess?
is
Yeah.
a tomato. A
Yeah.
huge chunk of our garden is tomatoes. Basically, most of this row, you can see we've been creative.
Oh, okay.
Instead of getting metal stakes that we bought, we just collected broken branches and put them up as stakes because the tomatoes grew pretty tall. They need something to lean on.
Thrifty.
Yeah,
money,
we've been, you were asking earlier about any barriers we had, and basically because we're just a group of people trying to garden without asking any permission, we have no budget like an organization that's funded would have, so we've just been doing everything with volunteer power and volunteer resources and
Right.
people coming together with like seeds and bringing a trowel or a watering can or soil, and so it's all been we never know what we're gonna have, and so we've just been like going with it, whatever
Go with the flow,
whatever
yeah.
we are able to do, we just try to make the most of.
Okay. Do you guys have, what other vegetables do you have?
So down here we've got
Yeah. Let's check it out.
get in here, we've got a cucumber. And we'll actually probably pick that.
Oh,
Again, this is all one plant.
this is all
And there's another
cucumber?
one in here.
Yeah, it starts across the walkway over there and comes all the way through over here.
Wow. Started from one seed, eh?
It's same family as the squash. You can see the leaves are really similar, and it just spreads and creeps along with it. These are beans. There's two different varieties here, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's two different plants. We planted them here because you could see they're already starting to wind themselves up this
Yeah,
hole. So we
climbing vine, right? Yeah.
put them there because they like to climb up. So
Yeah,
good
yeah.
spot for them.
Morning Glory does that too, yeah.
Music has played an incredibly large part in this garden actually, which is also a cool part of it. In that in many cultures all around the world, music is used throughout agriculture and people are singing, and it makes the work so much easier, and it's just part of the culture.
It's like the idea of creating your own.
And so
Your own,
not
yeah.
only do we use music as a form of expression,
Yeah.
of communicating what we're doing here and bringing people in, but it's also a form of celebration
Right,
where we're
right.
celebrating and just creating this atmosphere of, you know, just fun.
Fun,
basically.
yeah. Fun and creation, yeah.
So there's some plants that are hiding because the tomatoes have grown so big, but we've got basil in here between the tomatoes and
Right.
more of it right over there.
Basil?
Yeah, it's basil.
Now that repels flies, I heard.
Yeah.
There's some basil.
And there's a whole bunch that just harvested.
Oh, great. So that can repel insects, some insects that might be pests from the other vegetables.
Yeah, a lot of herbs are great at the edges of the garden because their bitterness pests don't like so much.
Yeah.
So it's really good companion planting.
Okay, and instead of having to spray pesticides, which cause cancer and everything.
Yeah.
This is thyme.
Thyme,
We've got
okay,
our
great.
thyme bush right there.
Yeah, okay, I got some of that growing in my garden, I think, too.
So we're gonna step right over the cucumber.
Right over the, we need that, yeah.
I found 2 more big cucumbers.
Excellent. Whoa.
They're not good when they're too old.
Yeah.
You know, so you need to eat them as soon as possible.
Right,
The right size,
yeah.
which is that size. for
Yeah.
this garden.
Okay, great.
Down here, I believe we have some beets.
Right by my
And-
foot there.
Yeah, and these are
Beets.
the greens of them. You can, when the beets are ready to harvest, the greens are also really good in the salad.
Okay. What's this right here?
This one, that's a good question. I believe it's this flower,
Oh, okay.
which is this calendula?
Calendula. Oh, okay. Very nice.
And
Companion
it
plant.
attracts pollinators and
Bees.
also medicinal. Yeah.
Okay, we got some bees right around us right here, yeah.
Yeah, over here we have collards
Collards.
and kale,
Right. Very nice.
and those are lettuce that has been almost nearly done harvested. You could see all the bigger leaves have been taken off, and
Right.
they're going to seed, and lettuce grows pretty quickly, so we can plant those seeds, and within a few weeks harvestable lettuce leaves will be growing again. So you can actually, things like lettuce, plant and harvest a few times in one growing season. So it's really a great crop. And I promised I'd show you peppers that
Yeah.
were already growing. So if we
Let's go get those.
continue down that's little ones.
Yeah.
They're gonna-
Okay, there they are. Green peppers.
They're growing still. They're gonna get bigger.
Yeah.
And there was that hot pepper, I think, came off of this one. But
Oh, the one we saw earlier that
the
was
one that
harvested?
was already harvested.
All right, that's pretty good. Pretty amazing.
What else do we have in the garden?
Yeah. What are these tiny little things coming out?
This is just an area we haven't planted yet. We're going to be putting a lot of the winter crops that Jacob mentioned earlier
Right.
into this space. We were lucky enough at our summer jam that happened at the end of July
Yeah.
to get a truckload of soil just donated to us. This is what I mean
Very
about
nice.
this community garden just magically coming together by community support.
Just people doing what they
People
can,
just
yeah.
giving whatever they're able to. So we added tons more soil, and we're going to be
Bless you,
planting
yeah.
those winter crops into this
Okay,
space.
and these are just plants that just,
These are just like, weeds that come up in the
yeah,
grass.
weeds
and-
grow good, like grow quickly.
Yeah, and
They're trouble, but-
it's a funny thing about weeds. People are always trying to get rid of them, but if you look at more whole systems, permaculture ways of growing things, they are there because they're serving a need for the soil. So
Yeah.
it's important to be like, why is this weed there? And maybe I can put something else there that is also helping the soil in that way, and then those weeds will actually go away because they don't have a niche anymore.
Right. Oh, interesting.
And a lot of them are medicinal,
Oh, yeah.
like dandelion and most other ones.
Oh, yeah, there's nutrition in them too, yeah.
Very yummy too.
Okay, so we got this. Yeah, I haven't had one myself. Actually, I have, but I don't remember the taste. But yeah. So yeah, anything else, Jacob? Anything else you guys wanted to show me? Or is
Well, it should be noted also that we've had a great collaborative partnership and relationship with Hart House and U of T Campus Agriculture. And there's
Yeah.
a network of gardens all around
really?
Queen's Park here. There's gardens over at Victoria College. There's a beehive on top of Trinity College to the
Okay.
north.
Security kind of, yeah.
And the bees come down and they pollinate and they party and